March 15, 2008, was the last time Martina Vic Magnuson was seen alive. Martina was a bright young woman, known for her love of soccer and her academic achievements. On that fateful night, she stepped out of the famous Maddox nightclub in London, laughing, arm in arm with her friend Farouk Abdulhak. But after that night, her trail vanished, and the horror that followed would uncover one of the most chilling cases in recent UK history. Today we're diving into the mysterious and heartbreaking story of Martina Vic Magnuson, a promising young woman whose life was brutally cut short. The question remains, was justice ever truly served? What secrets lie hidden in the shadows? And who holds the key to unlocking this chilling mystery? Martina was born on February 6, 1985, on the picturesque island of Nesø in Norway. The second of 3 children, she was the pride of her wealthy family, known for their close-knit bond and picturesque life. Her childhood was full of joy and energy, whether it was climbing trees, building snowmen, or swimming in the summer. Martina often spoke of her dreams to explore the world beyond Nesø. She was fascinated by stories of adventure, often found with a book in hand or drawing maps of imaginary lands. Her favorite pastime was playing with toy planes, dreaming of the day she could soar through the skies. Her family nurtured her ambitions, always encouraging her to chase her dreams, no matter how big they seemed. From the moment she first stepped into the world of handball, her natural talent made her unstoppable. She was known for her incredible agility and precision on the court. Later, she found her true calling in equestrianism, where she excelled and found a new passion. Her dedication to training and her bond with her horse were unmatched. Additionally, she had a flair for painting, often creating stunning pieces that reflected her deep connection with nature. After high school, Martina pursued a medical degree in Poland, but soon realized it wasn't her path. She found herself drawn to the business world and moved to London in 2007 to study international business. She was thriving in her new life, living with friends, balancing school, and embracing the vibrant London social scene. Martina had it all, or so it seemed. On March 14, 2008, Martina was celebrating the end of exams at one of London's most exclusive nightclubs, Maddox. With its luxurious, celebrity-studded reputation, it was the perfect place for a 23-year-old who had just topped her class. Dancing, laughing, and drinking with her friends, Martina was in high spirits. But as the night wore on, something unexpected happened. Martina was seen talking to a stranger, and her friends noticed her receiving a mysterious note. She stepped outside the club, her friends trying to follow, but she seemed nervous and kept looking back. As the night deepened, her friends searched for her, but Martina had vanished into the night. Her roommates decided to head home, but she wanted to keep the party going. And that's when Farouk Abdulhak, a fellow student from her business school, offered to accompany her to another party. This offer seemed innocent, but it would soon lead to unforeseen consequences. Little did she know, this decision would change everything. Farouk came from an elite background. His father was a powerful businessman with connections stretching across the Middle East. Despite his wealthy upbringing, Farouk was known for being shy, polite, and kind. Almost too kind, as many would later say. His relationship with Martina was one of genuine friendship and mutual respect. Hours passed, and her roommates grew concerned. She hadn't returned, and when they tried to contact her, they noticed something strange. Farouk's social media profile had been updated around 4 in the morning, saying he was alone at home, yet they knew she had left with him. The roommates decided to take matters into their own hands. They gathered in the dimly lit room, pointing at a map, and planned their search. With flashlights in hand, they ventured into the woods, their beams cutting through the darkness, hoping to find any trace of her. Suddenly, a phone rang in the dark. One of them answered, their face turning pale with shock. The police had found something. By the next day, panic set in. Martina was officially reported missing, and the urgency to find her grew with each passing hour. Authorities and volunteers scoured the area, but the truth was far darker. 2 days later, Martina's body was discovered in the basement of Farouk's apartment building, semi-nude, concealed with rubble, and showing signs of violent struggle. The brutality of her death shocked everyone. The police were baffled, neighbors were horrified, and Martina's family was devastated by the gruesome discovery. Farouk, who was now missing, had meticulously planned his escape. He fled the country, leaving behind nothing but suspicion and a trail of unanswered questions. He had packed his belongings hastily, ensuring he left no trace. Investigators learned that Farouk had boarded a flight to Cairo, and it was suspected he'd traveled to Yemen on his father's private plane. Authorities were in hot pursuit, but Farouk remained elusive. The police quickly issued an international arrest warrant for Farouk Abdulhak. Authorities coordinated with international agencies to track his movements and bring him to justice. Despite their efforts, Farouk remained elusive, evading capture for years. But as time went on, it became clear that her father's immense wealth and influence were protecting him. Her family and supporters rallied tirelessly, organizing protests, holding press conferences, and fighting in court to seek justice. Martine's parents, Odd and Kristen, left their home in Norway to seek justice in the UK. Despite their grief, they pressed forward, demanding answers. They learned that their daughter had been the victim of sexual abuse and asphyxiation. Their determination led them to hold press conferences, organize community vigils, and meet with legal advisors to ensure that justice was served. It was a heart-wrenching discovery. For Odd, the pain of identifying his daughter's lifeless body was the worst moment of his life. His heart shattered, and an overwhelming sense of loss consumed him. The emotional journey from disbelief to acceptance was agonizing, filled with tears and unanswered questions. In Norway, public outcry grew. Hundreds of people took to the streets demanding Farouk's extradition and justice for Martina. The community rallied together, holding candlelight vigils and flooding social media with calls for action. News outlets covered the story extensively, amplifying the voices of those seeking justice. The frustration was palpable as the Yemeni government, with its ties to Farouk's family, rejected all extradition requests, heightening the tension and despair among those seeking justice. The case seemed hopeless. Martina's family felt an overwhelming sense of despair as they clung to each other for support, their hopes fading with each passing day. But Martina's family wouldn't give up. They turned to social media, rallying support from around the world. They created hashtags like #JusticeForMartina and #UnsolvedMystery, which quickly went viral. A heartfelt video telling Martina's story was shared thousands of times, drawing attention from news outlets and even celebrities. The campaign brought a renewed focus on Martina's case, sparking hope for justice. In 2009, even the Queen of England got involved. Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II made a public appeal for justice in the case of Martin Vic Magnuson. The involvement of the royal family brought significant media attention and public interest. However, despite the heightened awareness and pressure, there was still no justice. Farouk remained untouchable, living freely in Yemen. Those involved were left frustrated and helpless. For years, Martina's case seemed to stall, until something unexpected happened. Farouk confessed to the crime, but managed to evade justice, leaving authorities baffled and the community in turmoil. In 2019, amid political unrest in Yemen, a journalist managed to gain Farouk's trust through social media. They conducted a thorough investigation, uncovering crucial details and interviewing key witnesses. Their findings shed new light on the case, revealing inconsistencies and overlooked evidence. Over months of communication, he finally confessed to the crime, not directly naming Martina, but referring to it as an unfortunate accident triggered by drugs and alcohol. This confession sent shockwaves through the community, raising more questions than answers. It became a pivotal moment in the case, influencing public opinion and the direction of the investigation. In a chilling series of voice notes, Farouk expressed deep regret, apologizing for what he called a sexual accident that had gone horribly wrong. He described the events in harrowing detail, recounting the moments leading up to the incident. But this wasn't just an apology. It was an admission that shattered the silence, confirming what everyone had suspected all along and revealing the true horror of that night. But was this confession enough? Farah still refused to face justice. Despite numerous efforts by law enforcement and legal teams to bring her to trial, she remained elusive, evading every attempt to hold her accountable. Farouk remained holed up in Yemen, constantly on edge, taking every precaution to avoid detection. Meanwhile, UK authorities were relentless in their pursuit, desperate to bring her to trial. As of 2023, Farouk continues to evade justice, and his family, once untouchable, now lives in fear of arrest. Martina's family, still seeking answers, has never stopped fighting for closure. They hold vigils, organize protests, and tirelessly work with legal teams to keep the case alive. The community stands with them, demanding justice and transparency. Farouk's family, once powerful, now faces the consequences of their actions, living in constant fear of the law. The fight for justice remains unyielding, a testament to the resilience and determination of those who refuse to let Martina's story be forgotten. The unwavering support for Martina's case signifies a powerful demand for justice. This is not just the story of a young woman's tragic death. It's the story of a family's unyielding fight for justice. It's a story of corruption, of power, and of the belief that no one, no matter their wealth or connections, should be allowed to escape accountability. This story has galvanized the community, bringing people together in solidarity. It has sparked conversations about justice, equality, and the need for systemic change. The impact of this story extends beyond the family, touching the lives of many who seek a fairer society. We still don't know the full truth of what happened that night, but what we do know is that her story is far from over. And as long as her family and supporters continue to fight, justice is a light that will never go out. Their relentless efforts include legal battles, community outreach, and raising awareness. Through social media campaigns, news coverage, and public speeches, they keep her story alive. The march for justice continues, fueled by the unwavering belief that truth will prevail. So, what do you think? Was justice ever served in this case? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more stories like this. And remember, respect for the victim and their family is key in any discussion. Good night, and I'll see you in the next criminal story. To support the cause, consider signing petitions, attending community meetings, and sharing this story on social media. You can also donate to organizations fighting for justice and volunteer your time to help those in need. Together, we can make a difference.